Hi everyone, and thank you for joining me for another Sharing Sunday with me, Helen Armstrong from Pandrapops Crafting Joyful Moments. Today we are using the Velvet Meadow papers, which have come out in the May to August, well it runs to the beginning of September catalogue. There's some gorgeous papers in this set, and one of the main things about it is that each paper has, you can't really tell, but it has some raised white bits where it is velvet almost. So yeah, it feels really quite nice when you run your finger along. So yeah, today we're going to be making this card. So it's a 5-panel card, quite easy to make. We're just going to cut some paper down. The hardest bit is actually getting these to stay in the right place. That is the hardest bit. I will be putting the measurements in the description, so don't need to worry about that, but I'll tell you them as we go along. All right, so the first thing we're going to do, I have already, if I remember rightly, just getting things ready, I have already pre-cut and scored my 29.7 piece of Peaceful Pine. I will eventually remember all these new colours. Peaceful Pine, so it is 29.7 by 10.5 along this edge, and it's scored at 14.8 centimetres. I have already pre-cut my 2 white layers, one for the outside of the card and one for the inside of the card, and they are 14.5 along the long edge and 10.2 along the short edge. Okay. We have got some cutting to do first of all. Oh, I have also got a little piece to do my sentiment on. Right, we are going to also be using the Banner Sayings set, which comes with this great punch to cut out the sayings, and I've actually chosen to use I Can't Thank You Enough because these are going to be part of thank you cards that I'm sending my customers this month. Okay, so we need to cut these bits at 9, but we need to cut some more Peaceful Pine in. We need to cut these at 9.5, which I've already cut, but we need to cut these at 2.3 centimetres. And we need 5 of these. So 1, 2, 3. So yeah, we need 5 of these ones. 1, 2, 3. Two, 3. So again, these are 9.5 centimetres by 2.3. I didn't do that very well. Let's turn that round, not watching what I'm doing. 1, 2, 3. And we need one more. 2, 3. Right, so we have our Peaceful Pine 5 strips, put those to one side, and then we need to get our designer series paper. So when I did this card, I used this sheet from this paper. If you imagine that was running along this bottom edge, and all I did was cut it and then cut it into the strips. But I've decided to use a different sheet of the paper just to see whether it works with a really busy paper. So we're going to cut this and making sure that I've got it the right way round. We're going to cut this at 9.2 centimetres. So that's 9.2 centimetres by 2 centimetre strips. Tip: when you're cutting this, I would advise you to keep your strips in order. Otherwise, it took me about 5 minutes before to ensure that I had things in the right order when I was making the card. So as we do it, I'm going to put this one on the bottom. 2 centimeters again. So this is 9.2 by 2. Put that one next. You could mix them up, especially if it's a really busy paper. You wouldn't really notice, I would have thought, that much. But I decided I wanted to try and match as best as possible. So that's 4. We need 1 more. Okay. There's our strips. So I'm going to bring our card back in. We've got our bits and we've got our strips. So we've got our green bits and our strips. I'm going to do a little bit of stamping first before we start gluing and sticking everything. So let's get everything ready so we just glue and stick. Glue and stick, just glue things and stick with dimensionals the ones. Okay, so I'm using the beautiful Berry Burst for this. This is this gorgeous pink in the card to do my sentiment. I do like mixing it up and not using black or Secret Sea, which is my favourite colour at the moment. So I'm just using the punch now to punch this out. Okay, so I now have that piece as well. So we're ready now to glue and stick. Except what we do need is some dimensionals. So let me just reach across and grab some dimensionals. Yeah, those will do. Okay, so I'm just going to move my panels to one side with my sentiment. And then let's do a little bit of sticking with the white first. You are going to need a ruler for this, just so, or your paper trimmer if it with the ruler on it, just so you can put a little dot on the front of your paper, on this bit here, just so you know where the starting point is, the middle bit is for this. Okay, and we're going to open it up and we're going to put our centerpiece in. Now, the only thing I've got of this set, the Velvet Meadow set, is the paper, because I'd already ordered one of the other floral sets, which was the Lily the Valley set. So yeah, I just thought it was too many florals and I didn't need them all, but I really like the idea of the velvet paper. Okay, so I'm going to just now put my Peaceful Pine strips out, and then we are going to then put these out so we know which ones go with which, and we must keep them in order. I can't stress that enough. What you don't want to be doing is spending ages trying to find matching patterns. It just can be an absolute nightmare. Okay, so we're going to put a little bit of glue on. Now these it's up to you whether you want to put them on dimensionals or not. When you stick them on the white, your white background. I decided that I'm going to actually, on the other card, I stuck them down straight onto the card. What I might do is actually use dimensionals this time. So that's going to be my bottom piece, which will be on this piece here. So this one will get layered on top of that. So yeah, I'm a bit late in putting the video up today, mainly because the weather is so gorgeous here in Cheshire in the United Kingdom today. So I took advantage of being able to sit in the garden, read my book for a little bit and have a nice iced coffee today. While my husband, bless him, has been doing all the jobs outside, he decided he was going to jet wash the patio first so I could sit out And then he then has decided he's currently washing our car. Yeah. He won't let me touch the car because he's got this routine when he comes to washing our car and won't let me touch it. I think I might have made that slightly too big width-wise. Not to worry, that's the middle one. One that's going to be centered, obviously. Front and center. Will there be a day when Helen doesn't mess up making a card on YouTube? Probably not. There will be some point always during the video where I either put my finger in the ink or do something else. I think what I might have done is actually not cut my green piece quite right. Okay. As always, it's don't do what I do, do what I say when do this. Take your time with this. Layer them as best you can. Okay. Yeah, I definitely cut them too long. Not to worry, I can always trim those off a little bit. Okay. In fact, I think I might just trim them ever so slightly. I've got some really thin scissors, so I'm just going to trim those edges. I'm probably going to make a mess of them now. Yep. Okay. I'll just trim that edge off there. Should probably be wearing my glasses, would be good. I'm just making sure I still keep them in order. Just needs a tiny bit off the top. Turn them over would be good. Okay. I apologise for sniffing because, as usual, I do have hay fever at this time of year. It's always either hay fever or a cold. I don't know if, like me, some of you get summer colds. I seem to be actually okay normally during the winter time, and then as soon as summer hits, it's summer cold time. Right, if we need to do some more trimming, we can do in a minute. Okay. So the next thing we're going to do is we're going to find our centre. So this is 14.5, so it should be 7.25 that we need to find. So let me just get my ruler. Yep, 14.5. I do have an erasable pen, but I'm going to be covering it up anyway with, so 7.2 and then just right in the middle there. So that's our midpoint. Okay, oh, just dropped my scissors. Okay. This one's our middle one. And I realised I'm just putting my hair in shot. Okay, so this is our middle one. So it's around about there. I'm just going to bring it down, layer it there. I've just realised I've turned that one the wrong way around. There we go. And then that one. And then we have our yellow flowers coming in, and a bit of pink at the bottom. And that's, we're just going to space these out. So you're going to space them out as best you can. They are going to move until you do stick them down though. So I'm just going to move those off to that side, those off to that side, and I'm going to concentrate on sticking my in the middle. Right, I am going to put these up on dimensionals. You know, yes, I am. I might just do every other one. Let's just give it a go, see what it looks like. So So as usual, I'm changing things up. So this paper would be great for any type of summer celebration. Okay, so let's just, right, so thinking there, just come down. Have I got that straight? As straight as I'm going to get it anyway. Okay, and then I'm going to come in with this one at the side, and I'm going to try and ensure that we've got that side and we've got the same at this side. Okay, and I'm going to put these upon dimensionals as well, the two end pieces. So I'm just going to put 3 on. You probably should put 4 on just so it doesn't squish in the middle. Yeah, let's do 4 this time. Okay. Taking those backings off. So yeah, as I say, it's been a gorgeous day again here in Cheshire. What day are we on today? It's Sunday the 24th of May. So it suddenly feels as if we're finally getting some summer, which is nice. The rest of May has been very wet, very wet. Okay, I need to lift that up ever so slightly. Move that up a little bit. Yeah, that's better. Okay, I've just knocked them over, haven't I? No, it was this. That's that one, and this is the end. Yes. Okay, so I need to try and get this at the same end. So here in the UK, tomorrow is a bank holiday. We have 2 bank holidays in May, which is lovely. And I know in America, I think it's Memorial Day weekend. So again, I think you've got an extra day as well. So it's nice. Nice long weekend, especially when the weather's nice. It's nothing worse than the weather being absolutely awful. Okay, make sure I'm putting it the right way round. Trying to make sure I'm as even out as... I need to come across a tiny bit. A tiny bit. Okay. Have I come across a little bit too much? Let's just go with it. Okay, do we put these ones down? What do we think? Do we put these ones down flat? Oh, I don't know. No, I'm going to put them on dimensionals. Don't know what I was thinking, but you know what? Maybe in another card in a few weeks, I'll do them differently. Okay. So tomorrow we're going to do, I think the plan is to do a little bit of gardening, and then my plan is to start the tutorials for my Christmas and July classes. That is my plan, because it is almost June and I've not started my tutorials. We need to get those done and dusted so I can send them out before the beginning of July. So for people who are wanting to take part in my class virtually. Okay. There we go. I think we're just about there. Have I done this correctly? I'm not 100% sure. Let me just see. Sorry, my voice did go up a little bit. It's only because one of my children decided to open the door to the living room. now we're just going to stick our sentiment on, and then we are done. I can actually just put that one there. Okay, so we are done. Very quick today. I say very quick, 20 minutes. So once you've got everything cut out, it doesn't take long. Yeah, so what do we think? Do we prefer the less busy or the busy? I think had I not messed up when I was cutting out the green, I think I prefer the busy to the less busy, but yeah, who knows? All right, so that is a very quick sharing Sunday with you. Just a quick panel card. As I said, I will put the dimensions in the description below. So yeah, I hope you have a wonderful rest of your Sunday and enjoy your week coming up, and I'll see you next weekend. All right, as always though, always remember to craft your joy. Take care everyone. Bye.